Okay. Right. Well, as the IPC of Kent and Shaw, gives me very great pleasure to introduce you to our Zoom Kabbalat Shabbat and Shabbat Shalom to you all. And now it's a great pleasure to welcome Irene, who's going to give us a Devar Torah. Thank you very much, Irene.
Unmute yourself, Irene.
Bottom left.
Can't hear you, Irene.
I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, well
Is that
done.
okay?
Yay!
Lovely. Well done. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Is that okay?
Lovely.
Oh, all right then. Okay. Well, it still is Yom Yerushalayim for a little bit longer. So, and we've all been talking about it, but it is my focus as well. So, in Psalm 22, King David famously describes his passion for Yerushalayim. In the Talmud, Yerushalmi, Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi explains that verse 3 refers to a city which makes all friends in Israel. As it says, Jerusalem is like a city that is joined, that is united together. This implies the idea of joining together is equated with bringing people together. This is the 56th year since Jerusalem was liberated, and days before the outbreak of the Six-Day War, Menachem Begin, who was the leader of the opposition at that time, was interviewed by some journalists. And as he left them, he said, "Gentlemen, what a beautiful city this could be without all that ugly barbed wire dividing it." Only days later, and 3 millennia after King David had designated Jerusalem as capital of the Kingdom of Israel, Jerusalem, was finally reunited in an utterly miraculous feat. We went from the pre-unification status, as verse 3 in the Psalm 122 says, "Our feet stood immobile at your gates, O Jerusalem," implying that we had no access to our holy sites, as indeed was the case from the 1948 War of Independence until that liberation of Jerusalem in the Six-Day War, when East and West Jerusalem were reunited. And yes, the barbed wire came down and our capital was joined together again. This time of year, there are two connecting periods: the period between Pesach and Shavuot, and the period between Yom Ha'atzmaut and Yom Yerushalayim. The fact that the ancient pair of festivals and the modern pair occur so close to each other is actually no coincidence. These two periods have a profound connection. Pesach commemorates the Exodus from Egypt, and on Shavuot we received the Torah. The transition was one of ascent from physical to spiritual freedom. The period between Yom Ha'atzmaut and Yom Yerushalayim can also be considered in a similar way. Yom Ha'atzmaut is similar to Pesach, as our nation's own physical political independence, no longer subservient to other nations. A joyful event, and we celebrate it with all of Am Yisrael. Yom Yerushalayim is more similar to Shavuot. Shavuot is our spiritual uplift on receiving the Torah. During the Six-Day War, Israel regained many places whose strategic importance for the survival and security of the state of Israel were much greater than that of Jerusalem. But Yerushalayim is the heart of our Judaism and all our individual hearts. This was the site of both temples and our spiritual focus. There are no stories of soldiers in the Golan shedding tears on reaching the Hermon, but the paratroopers weeping at the Western Wall became a symbol to this day. These soldiers, like the nation as a whole, and all of us privileged to witness this, understood that the liberation of Jerusalem was so significant, far beyond the relief brought to the citizens of that city that day. This was a spiritual, historic moment of the sort that happens once in thousands of years. We recite Lashana Haba B'Yerushalayim a few times every year. When Natan Sharansky said on his arrival to Israel, "Now the next time I say Lashana Haba B'Yerushalayim, these words will only have a symbolic meaning for me, for I, body and soul, now live in the capital of Israel." These were the heartfelt words of his, after all his suffering, everything he went through for so many years in order to reach that moment. Yes, Jerusalem is in our hearts spiritually and in each and every one of us. But we must look forward as always. It is a slow process. The readiness to improve the situation in Israel is what is needed in all aspects towards the goal of us all being together next year in the Yerushalayim that is rebuilt, L'Shana Haba B'Yerushalayim Habnuya, in all senses of the word. Yes, Jerusalem, I say it again, is in our hearts spiritually, in each and every one of us, and we recognize that it is part of the messianic process. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Thank you very much indeed, Irene. Shakoi to you for that beautiful Dvar Torah to reflect on Yom Yerushalayim. Thank you so much. Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce David Harris. Thank you very much, David, for leading us in Kabbalat Shabbat.
Thank you, Rochelle. Yeah, and you're very welcome. And also, I'd like to add my best wishes to Irene for a really, really very nice Dvar Torah. Thank you very much. I'm not sure the next bit's going to be quite as nice, but you know, one does one's best. Okay, let's. We haven't got the visual aid of the words, so they can be found in most Siddurim, I think. Right. So let's get a move on. Yedid nefesh av harachamam meshach avdecha el ratzonecha yarutz avdecha kamo ayam yishtachav el mulchadarecha Yerablo Yedidadecha Mino Fetsuf V'chol Tam Adurna Ziv Olam Nafshi Cholat Avatecha Ana Narafana la Be'arod la Noam Zivacha Al Titchazek V'titrape V'hayetala Simchat Olam V'tigyemna Rachamecha V'chusana Al Beinahu V'cha Tizakama Nichsafti Lirob Tiferet Uzecha Eila Chamda Libi V'chusana Ve'al Titalam Higalena Ufros Chavivi Alai Et Sukat Shalomecha Tairet Mikvodecha Nagi Elavenis Machabach Mahereov Kivamoed V'choneinu Ki me'olam in the 9999 in the 9999 in the 999 in the 999 in the 9999 in the 999 in the 999 in the 9999 in the 9999 In a nine 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 nine, in the nine nine nine, in a nine 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 nine, in a nine 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 nine, in a nine 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 nine. Nine 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 nine, in the nine nine nine, in the nine nine nine, in the nine nine, in the nine nine nine, in the nine nine nine, in the nine nine nine. Yana nine 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 nine. Yana nine 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 nine. Yana nine 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 nine. Yana nine 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 nine. Bum 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 bye. Yana nine 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 nine. Yana nine 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 nine. Yana nine 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 nine. Yana nine nine nine. Lechu Ranal Adonai Naria Letzur Yisheinu Mapana Betoda Bizmirot Naria Lo Kiel Gadol Adonai Umelech Gadol Al Kol Elohim Asher Biyado Mecharei Aretz the Tafat Harim Lo, Asher Lo Yam Vihu Asav Yabeshet Yadav Yatsaru Bo Nishtachave V'Nichra Nivracha Livnei Adonai Oseinu Kihu Eloheinu V'Anachnu Amarita V'Tzon Yado Hayom Imbakolo Tishma'u Al Takshu Levavachem Kimariva Yom Masa Barmidbar, Asher Nisuni Avoteichem, V'chanuni Gamra Ufali Arbahim Shana Akor B'dor V'amar To'ev Levav Heim V'heim Lo Yadu Derachai V'asher Nishbati B'api Im Yevon Amluchati Shirul Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shirul Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Shirul Adonai, Baruch Hu Shemo Basru, Miyom Liyom Yeshuato, Sapru Vagoyim, Ka'avodo, V'chol Ha'amim Nifleotav, Tigadol Adonai, Hulal Miot, Norahu Al Kol Elohim nine Ki Kol Elohim Ha'amim Elilim V'Adonai Shamayim Asa Hod V'Hadar La'afamnav Ozer Tiferet B'Mikdasho Havul Adonai Mishpachot Amim Havul Adonai Kavod Va'oz Havul Adonai Kavod Shemo Seyu Mincha Uvo Lechatzrotav nine Ishtachavu Adonai Behadrat Kodesh Chilu Mipanav Kol Haaretz Imru Vagoyim Adonai Malach Avtikon Tevel Baal Timot Yadinam Mimbem Mesharim Yisrael Hashamayim V'Tagel Haaretz Yiram Hayam Umelo Yalo Sadai V'chol asher bo nine Az Yiranenu Kolad Sayar Lifnei Adonai Ki'iva Lishpot Haaretz Yishpot Tevel B'Tzedek V'yamim B'Meisharim sorry, I beg your pardon. V'yamim Emunato nine and then nine nine. Adonai Malach Tagelar. I'll call Elohim Adonai Sinura Shomen Avshot Chasidav Miad Rishayim Miad Sileim Horzar Ulat Tzadik Uli Yisrael Simcha Simchut Tzadikim Badonai Behodu Lezecher Kodsho Mizmor Shir Adonai Shir Chadash Ki Nifleot Asar Shir Adonai Shir Kodsho Odi Adonai Shem Enu Harel Necholas Pischos Nezam Kat Sot Sirot Kol HaShofar Harel Nechal Yiram Mayab Yiram Hayam Umelo Tevel V'yosh Reiva Daharot Yimchachu Chaf Yachadarim Yeranenu Lifnei Adonai Kiva Lishpat Haaretz Yishpat Tevel B'Tzedet V'Amim B'Meisharim Adonai Malach Yirgzu Amim Yoshev Kruvim Tanut Haaretz Shimcha Adonai Yidaber Aleim Sham Midotav V'chok Natan Lamo Adonai Eloheinu Ata Nitam El Nosei Ayita Lahem V'no Keim Ala Lilotam Ramamu Adonai Eloheinu V'ishtachavu le'ar kodsho ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Mizmor leDavid, havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, havu l'Adonai kavod v'oz, havu l'Adonai kevod shemo, ishtachavu l'Adonai. Bihadrat Kodesh Kol Adonai Al Hamayim El Hakavod Yirim Adonai Al Mayim Rabim Kol Adonai Ba'koach Kol Adonai Be'adar Kol Adonai Shovei Arazim Vaishaber Adonai Et Arzei HaLevanon Vayarkidem Kamo Ekel Levanon V'Sirion Kamo Ven Re'emim Kol Adonai Chotzei Lahavot Eish Kol Adonai Yachil Midbar Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh Kol Adonai Yecholei Layalot Vayechesov Ye'arod Uveichalo Kulo Merkavod Kulo Omer Kavod Adonai Lamabul Yashav Vayeshev Adonai Melet Leolam Adonai Oz Liamo Yitain Adonai Yevarech Et Amo Vashalom Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabla Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabla Enai Shamar Zachar B'dibur Echad Ishmiyanu El HaMeyuchad Adonai Kadosh Ma'el Kadeshem Multiferet Validi Lalechadodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabla Nai Likrat Shabbat L'chuvenei Chakim Makar Haberacha Merosh Mikedem Nesucha Sof Ma'aseh Machshava Tequila Lechadodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabla Rambam Bamikdash Melech Ir Melucha Kumitzai Mitoch Hafecha Rav Lashe Bebimek Abacha Vehu Yachmo Allah Yichem La Lechadodi Likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabla Einai ipnari me'afaku milivshi bigdei tif Artechami al yad beni shobeit olach mi korva el nafshi Geyala lechadodi Likrat kala P'nei Shabbat Nekabla Yanai Oriki Kiva orekumi uri Shir dabei kavod Adonai Allah yichnit la lechadodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabla Lo teroshi v'lo tikomi Ma tishtochachi umatami Bach yachzu ani yami V'dimnata ir al tila Lechadodi likraka P'nei Shabbat nekabla Lechadodi likrakala P'nei Shabbat nekabla B'hayulim shisa Ashosayich Brachaku kol mevalayich Yasis alayich Elohayich Yimsad chatan akalai Nai Lechadodi Nai likrakala Lechadodi likrakala P'nei Shabbat nekabla Yaminus multiferatzi Beat Adonai taritzi Al yadish ben parsi V'nismecha v'nagila Ayanai lechadodi Yam bamarai likrakala Nine, bam 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 bam. P'nei Shabbat nekabla. Bo'ei v'shalom ateret bala. Gam b'simcha u'v'tzola. V'chemunei am segula. Bo'ei chala. Nine, lechadodi. Yam b'nai likrakala. Lechadodi likrakala. P'nei Shabbat nekabla. Okay, let's conclude with Yigdal. Let's try Yigdal to the tune of a seasonal special, shall we? יגדל אלוהים חי וישתבח, נמצא בעיני מציאותו, אחד ואין יחיד כייחודו, נעלם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו. אין לו דמות הגוף ואינו גוף, לא נערוך אליו קדושתו, קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא, ראשון ואין ראשית לראשיתו. הינו אדון עולם לכל נוצר, יורה גדולתו ומלכותו, שפע נבואתו נתנו אל אנשי סגולתו ותפארתו. לא קם בישראל כמשה עוד, נביא ומביט את אמונתו, תורת אמת נתן לעמל, על יד אביו נאמן ביתו, לא יכל יפעל, לא ימיר דתו, לעולמים נזולתו. צופה ויודע סתרנו, מביט לסוף דבר בקדמתו, גומל איש חסד כמפעלו, נותן לרשע רע כרשעתו, ישלח לקץ ימים משיחנו, לפתות מחקקת ישועתו. מתים יחייל ברוב חסדו, ברוך הדיית שם תהילתו. מתים יחייל ברוב חסדו, ברוך הדיית שם תהילתו.
Shakaya.
Sequoia,
David.
thank you so much,
Thank
David.
you, David.
Beautiful, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That
Shabbat
was so
shalom.
special.
Yeah.
Finish with Naomi Shower. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. Thank
Thanks
you,
a lot,
Shabbat
Irene.
shalom to
Irene.
everybody.
Have a